welcome back to the studio where my prediction blessing has become a curse. I'm 0 for 2 after the break. This makes me extremely sad, and it also means the teams should watch out and hope that I don't pick you, because apparently I'm on a big losing streak when it comes to picking teams.
2 is a streak.
Yes, it is a streak. It's a streak after one.
The pattern is set.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a streak
it'll
after
never
one.
change.
Let's see if I can break the streak this time around. But let's go over the match for a little bit. Kids with Knife came in with a really weird kind of setup.
Yeah, it was outside of the box. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think actually like another Serb probably would have been a lot better than that Eagle. And it would have allowed their whole team to kite, for instance. It's hard to know kind of why they chose. They might have wanted to use the Eagle as bait. It was ASB tanked, so it would have had both the Scimitar and the ASB running if they shot at it first. But that's really expecting your other team to be stupid. I mean, like
well, and it also was sort of telegraphed. You could see the Scimitar reps run the Eagle before anyone even started shooting at the Eagle.
And it's closer than everyone else. It's really
shoot at this Eagle, please. Like, it's a bit rough time.
Well executed setup by Thingy. They did a good job. One of the cool things that I've been seeing actually in several teams now, and it's definitely starting to emerge as a pattern, is teams that put one bomber on their team. And I think that's going to be something we're going to see a lot in this tournament now that bombers are so cheap. We've cut their points from 5 to 3, and that means that whole bomber, like heavy bomber teams are going to be a lot more powerful, but also bombers are a great way now to just add a little bit of extra DPS at long range into any other setup.
And for 3 points, what is steal?
Yeah, I mean, 3 points gives you enough mid slots to run some damps or tracking disruptors, and DPS that can project really far across the field.
Yep. There's actually, you could run some crazy stuff. Like if you can control it, like a 10 MN stealth bomber.
It would be possible, yeah. It would be kind of hard to fit, but you might be able to pull it off, yeah. I think we've seen in previous tournaments where bombers were popular that we saw very, very heavy bomber control teams. So the kind of thing that was made popular in like AT8, for instance, where you have a full set of bombers, like often 4 or 5, and then you have some Hugins and Curses, and just do a lot of damping, keep the opponent in long range, and just pick them apart.
So that match is over. Before we go into the next match, let's take a look at a couple of tweets that have been coming into the NEO2 hashtag. Lily Roy Evsky asks, you, CCB Dolan, is CCB Dolan wearing mascara?
No, actually. I frequently ask for eyeliner, but the makeup people refuse to give me it.
Yeah, you just have those full lush
eyelashes. I do actually have full
It's
lush
actually
eyelashes.
against the Geneva Convention for you to wear eyeliner.
Well,
and
so-
mascara. I mean,
so
you would
there-
just be
there-
dangerously sexy.
There's hair concerns that if I were to get eyeliner and then it were to touch my eyebrows at any point, it would just form like a black hole of manliness that would just explode out of control. It could consume the entire island of Iceland.
So Naughty Cargo says, gotta say, I love the EVE Online community, but this Twitch chat and Twitter tops it. So much fun. Bring on Shadow Cartel. So he's the guy that was up at 4 a.m. In Australia. He's obviously having a good time and
Can I just
to tweet.
say, here's the Twitch chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's
To
the
Twitch chat. That was very refreshing, if I do say so myself.
Fresh, so fresh. It's so ice cold. So many people don't actually know this, but we're actually using Icelandic glacial ice, which is significantly more dense than actual just water.
It's the only ice that sinks.
Yes.
Yep, exactly. And you can see we're using fizzy water, so sometimes it will bubble up a little bit, but it's the purity.
Yeah.
It's like diamonds. It actually melts very slowly as well.
Yeah. It also cut diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. That's why Iceland's diamond industry is so strong.
No. No. You guys went too far.
That was too far for you.
You guys went too
that
far.
was one step. Ice that can cut diamonds is fine.
No.
But Iceland having diamonds would be just totally crazy.
Cut diamonds was one step too far.
Iceland does have oil, though, right?
We're looking for it right now. So hopefully soon. Then
It's
we
like
might
under
be,
couch cushions.
Yes,
It's like,
where is it?
They've given out a request to every household to just check around your house for some oil and see if we've got any.
Then we might potentially be rich.
Is
find
it like
oil.
I think
It's
it's
like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah,
They just
Beverly
ask
Hillbillies
you to shoot at random hills and see what happens.
Shoot shotguns into the ground, see if oil comes up.
So without further ado, let's jump into and talk about the next match, which is going to be We Can't Afford This versus Rampage.
Yes, so this is going to be a great match, not only because it's the battle of two corps in the same alliance, but also because it includes Volta, who are some of our really, really strong tournament competitors.
So this is these are both Tri
Yes.
tri-teams.
It's
and,
Hackstot versus Volta. Yeah.
Yeah. One is a really, really experienced tournament team. What about the Hackstot one?
I'm not familiar with what else they've done in the tournament. I'm not sure how new they are. The names didn't ring a bell for the tournament side of things, but it's very possible they could have some.
Well, they also in comparison to Rampage surely can't afford this.
Yeah.
Verge of collapse. The Volta guys probably can afford this quite easily.
Yeah. They've never had a really hard time with money since they spent that time in wormholes.
Yeah, or won those tournament chips.
That also helps a lot. Yes.
But I would say so. They won the Etanas, correct?
Yes, they won the Etanas.
So I would say most expensive tournament chip.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So they're not exactly hurting for e-cash, but perhaps if they win this New Eden Open, they won't be hurting for real cash.
Yeah, potentially. Do you think they might bring a tournament ship?
I mean, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Etanas are extremely powerful ships in any tournament. That being said, though, they didn't bring them a lot in the last Alliance tournament. They actually brought them a lot less than some of the other teams that they'd sold them to.
But I mean, at the same time, with this smaller format, smaller team format, maybe they're even more powerful. Maybe
they are definitely more powerful in a small format. So coming up against a team like this, if I was Hacks, I would seriously consider banning the Etana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they did. If I can check here and see if I have gotten the bans.
But I mean, it's for anyone not familiar with it, the Etana is the prize that we gave out to the first place team in the 10th Alliance tournament, and it is a special super advanced logistics ship. It's like a Basilisk, except it can also fit covert ops cloaks, which doesn't matter in the tournament because you can't use them here, but it just has extra mid slots, extra cap, extra lock range, extra tank. It's a great ship.
I think some people might say the Alliance Tournament 10 tournament ships were maybe the most ridiculous tournament ships.
They very well might have been.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of really good ones. I mean, the Malice is also a spectacular ship. The Malice is probably the most dominant in how it affected people's strategies in the tournaments. But the Cambion and the Etana are definitely close.
Yeah. So I have the bans. If you want to hear.
Let's hear.
We can't afford this. Banned the Dominics and the Oniros, and Rampage banned Sleipnir and Golem.
Okay.
So what is also a possibility here is because they're both in the same alliance, maybe these are like scrimming partners. Maybe they practice against each other.
So they might know each other very well.
This might be these bans might be really targeted in a even more so sense than we actually realize.
Well, it's one of those things where as the tournament progresses, we'll get to see more and more of these targeted bans.
Yeah.
Right now, they're just sort of throwing them out there based on what they've heard maybe in practice. I don't think any of either of these teams are just going to bring something that the other team 100% has played against, is used to.
Yeah.
They'll probably bring something out of left field, maybe something they practice in secret, because you really need that edge. You can't just come straight up. I don't think anyone wants to fight straight up in the Alliance and the New Eden Open. You always want to have that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being able to hold some stuff in reserve is extremely valuable. That's why it's often good to have multiple scrimming partners, so you don't show your whole hand to any single scrimming partner. And also, if you can pull off doing some internal tests where it's just your own people and your own friends that aren't in the tournament testing, then that allows you to test some secret setups really effectively.
According to the number of teams submitted, Tri certainly isn't hurting for tournament people. So.
Yes. They have, 3.5 teams in this tournament? They're the only group more represented than Incursioners in the New Eden Open, too.
So yeah, I mean, we're still just waiting for the next match. Actually, one thing that I kind of want to touch upon real quick is that we had a lecture here in the CCP canteen the other day about how the funds from Plex for Good were spent. One of the guys from the Icelandic Red Cross that actually went over to the Philippines and was there for 6 weeks helping out, showed us a lot of pictures and really what those funds did. And I must say, for me at least, it really touched me how much of a difference this community made in so many lives out there. So for that, everybody that participated and everybody that is a member of the Evil Line community can be proud. So that's really all I wanted to say about that, but that's something that everybody should know.
I at least know that those funds impacted me several times. In a very personal
very
way.
heavily,
about
over and
90
over.
times.
They impacted me about 90 times.
Yes.
That was one of the moving things that we've done. Like, our community just really sticks together on big projects like this, and it's really incredible to see people come out and support, from the person submitting one Plex to committing some amount of ISK to a larger pool program, or even from there just submitting, who knows, $60,000 worth of plays.
Yeah, just seeing all these community initiatives kind of being born out of this, and people going like, all right, we're gonna pull together and get ISK just so we can contribute from the people that don't necessarily have enough to contribute a whole plex. So like that whole thing and that whole experience was just something that for me being a part of that for me was the high point of my professional career here at CCP. Definitely, like it was an awesome thing to be a part of.
It was amazing to see, and we got such a better response to that than we'd ever expected. I mean, we had dreams of how you players were going to respond to that, and you definitely exceeded all of them.
There was
all of them.
You definitely exceeded my expectations for how much money you would raise by a significant portion. I blame to a certain extent Summer Blink and Kriba and the Mars Citizen 155 for damaging me in a permanent way. Not physically, but emotionally.
But it was fun though.
It was great fun.
For you, yes.
Yeah, we all had a good time doing the stream. Although you may have had less of a good time when we were actually shooting you with
we
this
got a
paintballs,
spectacular GIF out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was mostly just excited to see you twerk.
Yeah, that's apparently resides on the internet now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it happened.
I don't know why you're not monetizing that. I could easily see a membership pay for a site. Just make some videos. You'd be good to go.
So, all right, let's get back to the match now that we have that out of the way and talk about it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that computer is now logged out, so we need to fix that.
Yeah, I'll get that fixed in a second. Yeah.
It's
So
actually
I don't know.
Fozzie's computer, so quite conveniently, he's right here.
I don't know how long we are from getting the match started. Hopefully, we'll have it soon. It's scheduled to start in 4 minutes, right?
Perhaps we can't afford this having some last-minute
Issues
purchasing
buying
problems.
stuff. Yeah. Always possible. Always
Yes.
possible.
Yeah, because they can't afford it.
Perhaps they're
good fun.
asking for ISK that they will then theoretically double at some point in the future. Once
They're
they
just
win the
sitting in
tournament.
Judo Local, just trying to get the ISK.
Give us your tournament ships and we'll double them.
All right, so while we're waiting, let's go to this classic thing that I call reading the tweets. We have some.
Is that what you call it?
Yes.
It's a special name you've created.
I know. We have a lot of fun people tweeting us here at the NEO2 hashtag, including Bam Stroker saying that CCP Rise said it's okay to share this video of CCP Fozzie dancing to Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Wow.
So that's on Twitter right now. If you go and check out the hashtag NEO2 and on Twitter, then you can see a YouTube video of CCP Fozzie dancing.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That's from the Eve Down Under pub crawl, which was a really great time. We went out and hit the town in Sydney.
Yeah, it's on their Facebook page. Yeah, so.
I know we're doing a
good.
broadcast, but I just need to.
You need to see this right now. Yeah, wait.
This isn't gonna wait.
I had the great privilege of going down to Eve Down Under this last year. It's a player-run event similar to Eve Vegas, in that both of them are these events that, in a lot of ways, are emulations of our Fan Fest that we run every year, where Eve players can all come together and meet, and we have talks from CCPers. 2 years ago, we did it via Skype, and then just last year, I was able to fly down there and join them. They run a PvP tournament, which was an absolute blast, and where I lost in the finals, or lost in an exhibition match against their player champion, and have just a great time in Sydney. It's a really great city, and I had a blast. Even though the flight was very, very long, I definitely think it was worth it, and I really, really hope I'll get to go again next year. Hopefully take some other CCPers with me as well.
They're doing it again this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're down in Australia, then we definitely recommend that you check it out.
Yeah, Australia or New Zealand or anywhere in the Pacific countries, it's a really, really great event.
Yeah, and also if you're looking for player gatherings, FanFest is just around the corner. So that's going to be May 1st to 3rd, right?
Yep.
According to this video, it's a really great event because CCP Fozzie appears to be dancing with like 5 models.
Wow.
It was a good night.
So
looks according to this video, it's a great night.
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
let's jump into FanFest discussions now while we wait, because that's going to be
FanFest is always
okay.
crazy.
I cannot wait for
time.
FanFest. So I've got a bunch of programs that I'm cooking up. We're thinking about doing CCP games.
Yes.
Taking some of our players and challenging them in the ultimate battle of a player versus dev to several sports. So what those sports are, or what we're going to do, is yet to be announced. But
I know there was a pitch, which is probably never going to go through, really, of two guys facing each other, running on a treadmill, constantly shooting each other with paintballs.
I actually, CSP Guard has pitched that we have two people sit on a log suspended over the bay and then have a pillow fight until one person falls into the bay. This is apparently a traditional Icelandic sport that no one has ever heard of.
It's actually why they invented pillows in Iceland. They didn't actually use them to sleep until people from the other countries came and told them that that's what they can use them for.
Just for bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So I've also heard that there's a famous Icelandic sport, skier wrestling.
Yes, that's actually true. It's not like a famous Icelandic sport, but it's more like a kind of local tradition. Sometimes people get a bunch of skier and wrestle in it.
You should explain to our viewers what skier is.
So skier is an Icelandic kind of yogurt type thing. It's really healthy. It's tasty. A lot of people that come here really love it. And yeah. And then
sometimes
you
get in a
scantily
tub clad and
filled
just
with
wrestle
it and just wrestle in it. That's how we do it in Iceland. I think there's not a substance in Iceland that hasn't been wrestled in.
Nails?
No, dude.
They're Vikings, man. Yeah.
Like, honestly.
All right.
So, guys, the match is ready. Predictions. CZB Vazzy.
I'm going to go with Rampage on this.
We have to go with Rampage as well.
Yep. It looks like all three of us are in agreement with this one once again. And I'm going to go with Rampage as well. Let's see if they take it home.